This week, we played Mario Kart. No. I'm sure by all accounts, everybody can work it out. We played Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
On the beach. Isn't that just the dumbest name? Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Nick. Are you well?
Yes, I'm well. I was contemplating doing that entire intro in an Australian and or Mexican accent, but I'm not going to.
I'm so glad you didn't. I think, ladies and gents and the audience listening, you should be glad he didn't. We should all breathe a collective sigh of relief.
What that everyone dodged a bullet because of my incredibly almost not terrible accent?
I just know that the world and the economy and stuff the way it is now, we didn't need to let that out into the world. We really did not need that. So
right,
after
yes,
a good
the
start,
world can't have my Mexican accent on its plate as well.
Yeah, exactly. We don't. We're just full at the moment. Maybe later, when things calm down, we can play a nice. I'll tell you what, we'll play a nice Chinese game or something for you, so that you can get that whole accent thing off your chest.
Yes. Okay.
But you're well though, by all accounts.
I am. I'm quite well. Nose a bit stuffy. In the southern hemisphere, the hemisphere that the world tends to forget about. It's winter.
Yeah, they still can't fathom South Africa. It's cold. And it's cold. This is coming from an Englishman. It is cold here. They have nothing to counter the cold weather. No double glazing, no central heating. It's all just...
That's exactly it.
It's
a
crazy.
lot of my colleagues in the US don't always completely understand that in here... I mean, in the US, when it's cold, you can go inside, turn on the heating, and then you'll be fine. Over here, when it's cold outside, it's cold inside as well.
It's crazy. As speaking to you right now, I can actually see my breath. Like my breath is forming in front of me. It's crazy. It's nutty. It's good old South Africa for you. It's super hot, but when it gets cold, it's no joke either.
It's like the top of the... You played the first Death Stranding.
I have, yes, of course.
You ever been to the top of that mountain? Or, near the top?
No. I don't think I did.
It's cold. It's obviously it's cold. It's
I
very
did.
cold.
I just realised. Yeah,
right?
I have.
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
There's a delivery place at the top of the mountain.
Isn't that where you meet the girls with the twin girls and stuff?
Lochner and Malignant.
Sure. That's what I'll take your word for it. Yeah, they're
played by Margaret Qualley.
That's right. They're in there.
I love Lochner and Malignant. Anyway, we're talking about Death Stranding. Dave, how would you tell us what did we play this week?
This week we played Mario Kart. No. I'm sure by all accounts everybody can work it out. We played Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
On the beach. Isn't that just the dumbest name?
Have you watched the Barbie movie? Because there's always that clip. I can't remember what he says. I'll meet you down on Malibu Beach or whatever like that. And it's the only thing that goes through my mind when I see on the beach. Because they're going to beach off. I think it's a really, really kind of basic, strange, silly name for the sequel.
It is. It's very basic, strange. I'd use all those words, but the one word I would continue using to describe the subtitle for this game, Death Stranding 2, is dumb. I'm sorry. It's a great game. Horrible name. Why not call it something? This might be the American in me, but why not something cooler, like a beachfront?
Whoa, that's always go write him a letter now, Hideo Kojima. You got his email.
Beached.
We're the most popular podcast on the internet.
Yes.
So we're working with Cookie. We'll sort it out.
Here we go. This is about Sam and Lou, so we can call this Death Stranding 2. son of a beach.
That one was impressive. Did you just make that off cuff, or did you have that written down? Like
no, I wish I had that written down.
No, so that was just ad-libbed. Wow, your talents are wasted here. You need to be on a tour with that type.
No, never. My talents aren't going anywhere else. Critical Arcade.
No doubt. It is a weird name. It is a strange. Like,
yeah.
Am I mad? I'm not mad that Death Stranding 2 was just called Death Stranding was just called Death Stranding, right?
Yes, so the first one was called Death Stranding, and then it was later called Death Stranding Director's Cut.
Oh, yes, of course. So this could have quite easily just been Death Stranding 2, and no one would have batted an eye, right? They didn't need the beach part.
No. It's never that simple with Hideo Kojima.
That's right. You can't understand his brain. No one can. No. He's always
twisted mind.
He's turning corners when you're just still going backwards and forwards. Yeah, he's just...
Yeah.
Somewhere it's genius. We just don't understand it. On the Beach, it's actually an amazing title. We're just not in the right zeitgeist or brain functionality that he does.
It's got layers.
Yeah, that's right. It's like
DS2 OTB, which also means I don't know where I'm going with this.
I was trying to think what that means. On the back.
You know what? I think Kojima's a great. There's actually this streamer I follow called Luke Stevens who mentions this as well. Hideo Kojima's a great idea man.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed.
He's not a great dialogue man.
No. I think that's very true. And by all accounts, if everybody hasn't guessed it by now, this was both designed and directed by Hideo Kojima and his studio, Kojima Productions, right? The one he made after leaving Konami.
Yes.
Was this story, right?
Was this published by Kojima Productions as well?
No, published
by Sony? Okay.
Sony.
Published
it
by
was just
Sony.
developed by. Sorry.
Which is interesting.
Go on.
He's got the publishing deal with Sony because he's also got a publishing deal with Microsoft as well. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I did. I was just doing this, and it didn't really dawn on me that this game fundamentally at the moment is a PlayStation exclusive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not out on PC. I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it was out on Steam as well, because that's normally how it goes, but...
I mean, eventually.
It will, of course. But I was like, so this is literally a PlayStation exclusive, which...
Yes.
Did I miss the marketing of that side? Yeah, with PlayStation or exclusive games for consoles were always hyped. You can only get this here, and PlayStation... I was like, they didn't really push that angle much this time around.
I don't know if that's not as lucrative anymore.
Yes, agreed.
It's got some down the line complications because, I mean, it's not an exclusive for much longer because everyone, including Sony, knows this is coming to PC.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Like 2 years.
And like you said,
calling it an exclusive is only the truth for a while.
And you're right that the game space at the moment is all developing cross-play. Everyone gets to play everything is kind of the way things are going, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which is good. I like that idea. Everybody gets to play with everybody else. But yeah,
same.
I agree.
I mean, yesterday we heard that the same day PlayStation gets Gears of War, Xbox is getting Helldivers 2.
Yes, that's great. Excellent. I guess I was unplugged. I didn't know that Xbox didn't have Helldivers 2 yet. I really didn't. I just thought, they're not allowed to play it yet? That's crazy.
Wait a minute. They didn't have this?
I know. Maybe I'm stuck in my own bubble a little too much. But yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think that's it's great that things are going that way and people get to play. I generally didn't know. And yeah, I think this has been exclusive, but it's not really published that way because it's kind of except for Nintendo, of course.
Yeah.
Keeping all their treasures and things to themselves.
Oh, Nintendo.
I'd be intrigued if Nintendo one day, I doubt they will, ever goes like cross-platform.
I doubt.
I find it's so tough.
I really doubt they will.
But did you know there was an interesting fact about this story, which I thought was really intrigued? Do you know that Kojima, he wrote it, this part as well as the old part, partly during Corona times and stuff like that, and so he had the script written,
yeah,
and then he had it tested. You know, where you get like a group of people and they come to see if they like the story. You know, what they call
Which
it? Like a
which
test group.
script? The first Death Stranding or the second one?
No, it would be the second Death Stranding, but the original script of that. So this game script.
Okay,
and people,
first draft.
And people liked it too much. And he was like, oh, I don't make games that everyone likes, right? Because it's too mainstream and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he actually rewrote it so that some people didn't like it. Yeah. And they were like, I like the first one. And then he was like, yeah.
Perfect.
This is the one I want.
This is it.
Well, his brain
I
again,
I get it. Because what he feared was going to happen ended up actually happening. People are saying this game isn't different enough from the first one.
Yeah, no, I got you. And
right,
that was one of the reasons
just feels like more Death Stranding, which I don't think is what he wanted.
No, I agree. That's why he left Konami, right? Because he didn't like the restrictions and stuff like that he was slowly being put around him every time.
Yes, Konami just told him, make another Metal Gear.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just pump them out. Let's make tons of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea he tried to change it up. Again, it's one of those... We as gamers are so hard to actually kind of win over. Because we want a Death Stranding 2, but it can't be too much like Death Stranding 2. But if it's too different to Death Stranding, then of course we'll have a problem there too. Like one thing I do love about him, he does have this ability to look like he doesn't really care much. This is the game.
Which is great. We do need more. We do need more
exactly,
like that.
Exactly right. Okay, should we jump straight into the narrative of Death Stranding?
We can try.
Yeah, I know. Again, ladies and gents, this is such a hard one to tell you the narrative because this game is so based on the narrative story they tell you that if we tell you any of the good things or the heart-provoking ones and stuff like that, we're kind of big spoiler type aspect to it.
Not just that, but we can try and explain the narrative, but I don't think we can. Well, I don't think I understand even the first game's narrative.
That's valid. There was an aspect of, does anybody truly understand what the first game was? Out of curiosity, you completed the first one. I got like 80%
I completed the first
through.
Death Stranding. Yes, I fully finished the game. Oh, well, I mean, I wouldn't even call it fully finishing it. I completed the last mission.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I made the mistake of finishing the game at 11 p.m. and signed myself up for 2 hours worth of cutscenes.
I'm about to say, isn't that the longest cutscene of, like, the very last one is one of, like, the longest cutscenes in gaming history or something like that?
Yes.
It's like a movie length. That's true. That was a crazy...
I was sitting there past midnight, almost 1 a.m. and I was thinking, please let me go, Kojima. I want to go sleep.
Yeah, I can see it. But out of curiosity, completing that game, did you need the knowledge, or was the knowledge of the old game made it easier to understand this game, or would you say separate entities, they work quite fine?
I'd say this is completing or finishing the first game has definitely given me a better understanding as to not only what's going on, but to understand the development as this game continues. But I wouldn't call it necessary, because when you boot up this game, they give you a recap.
Oh yeah, I did watch the recap, or read it fundamentally. Or
that recap is good enough, honestly.
I thought it was relatively vague. Like, I get that's the point
just
to some degree. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I remember those bits, but it kind of read like the blurb on the back of the box. Like, okay, that's all right.
No, I get it. Finishing the first game, that blurb is all that you need, and any more context than that, would be an hour and a half cutscene.
Yeah, that's very true. The recap, by all accounts, would be massive if you would like another movie.
If you need to start understanding about the ha's and the cars of Malignant and Lochner, and that Hartman never really lived, and that Die Hardman was the only president for the UCA.
Yeah, I was saying... The beautiful thing about my mind is I forget practically everything like a month later.
Yeah.
The Ha and the Ka thing, or whatever they were talking about, like the chi and the souls and all.
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten about that entirely. I was like,
You
what
see?
are you on about?
You see? Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. There's so much just madness and things that don't make sense, but actually do to Hideo Kojima.
Of course.
It more than a blurb, it's just going to take forever.
I don't know. That is true. By all accounts, ladies and gents, the main premise of this is that you kind of sorted out America. They're all connected.
Yes.
So now you're going over to Mexico to kind of connect them, and then connecting Mexico opens a big gate. And when you go to the gates, you're in Australia.
We say connect.
Yeah.
But in the game, what it means is we just trying to connect all the different cities or settlements to some type of supernatural internet.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Like sludge.
I can't explain it better than supernatural internet.
Yeah, and then by all accounts, you make it to Australia, and then of course it's also all tarry and black and desolate, and you need to connect all them, and then you find supernatural robots called ghost mechs, and a villain that you know is there. Again, I don't want to spoil it because there's so many. The narrative in this game is so almost like really hardcore, like a soap opera. It's like, this happened, and whoa, this guy's here, and what? That person's dead.
It's a guy's name that rhymes with boy Traker.
Exactly. But and again, I love the names in this thing because I forgot them, like Die Hardman and Dead Man, which was sad. I won't go any further, but his story was kind of sad.
That is sad. I that caught me off guard.
I forgot all the hilarious names because they're so just like basically descriptive of who the person is.
Yes.
Again, it's very very Metal Gear Solid, very Kojima.
It's good. It's great, and they're all all the men names end in man.
Yeah, I know.
You got Dollman, Tomman, Hartman, Die Hardman, Deadman. And
it's like
all the ladies don't have that at all.
It's like this was made for me because I don't remember names. So like Dead Man, the guy who's like a Frankenstein. Hard Man, the president. This is so much easier for me. Again, those twins, no idea. the women. I could even initially remember. 1 second, what's her name? Fragile. I couldn't remember her name.
Yeah, Fragile. She's fragile, but not that fragile.
Did I miss the bit? Okay, maybe I'm going mad. She doesn't have old skin anymore. Sorry, ladies and gents.
She, for some reason, doesn't have old skin anymore, and I don't know why, because...
Okay, so that wasn't like a weird...
Okay, coming from someone that finished the game, she finished that game with old skin.
Ah, see? Again, Kojima's like, whoa, what's this about? And again, that's, ladies and gents, what the narrative does a lot. It always makes you go, what about this? Is that real? Is this really happening? Who's that? And you always just keep going, what's going on?
Exactly. It's following the narrative structure where it leaves a consumer or viewer or player, whatever, with more questions than answers. And as it goes along, you only get more and more questions.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people do tend to miss when they make stuff like this is to also drip feed answers.
Yes, that's very true. Very true.
I've consumed, and I'm sure you as well, loads of content where they just try and confuse the hell out of you, much like these games. But what Hideo Kojima does, and most of those other things don't, is also drip feed answers.
Yeah. Just laying around or in the messages people send to you and stuff like that in this game, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you would get 5 questions. But you'd also get an answer for one of your previous questions, which kind of leaves you thinking, wait a minute. So these things make sense?
Yeah.
There are answers?
That's true. You go through this whole thing thinking, what's this? And then you go, whoa, what's that? Okay, that makes sense. But then there's another question with a new thing, and you're like, whoa, why is there a little mannequin who can talk to me?
Exactly. And you keep playing because you keep thinking the answer is down the line.
Exactly. And it will all somehow make sense.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't. It doesn't even 1 second. But we were all just trying to climb into his brain and just see, so that's what he meant. What an introspective look into humanity and the weird social aspects of it, or whatever he's trying to teach us all.
I don't know what he's trying to
narrative is very good, but we can't spoil it for everyone listening because that would just be mean.
Exactly. I also don't even want to spoil the first one. It's been around for, what's it been, 6-7 years?
Yeah, it's been a while now. Yeah, no doubt.
It ends in such a... It ends... I wouldn't even say open-ended, but also kind of open-ended.
Because there was always going to be a sequel, right? It's not like the sequel was never greenlit. There was always going to be a sequel to
Do you think so? Do you think he made the first one with a sequel in mind?
Yes. And what I've read in regards to his interviews and stuff, he had like this beefy script, and he knew you couldn't stick it into just one game because it would just made it too fleshed out and just thick and boring. So yeah, I think he always had two in mind.
I've also read... and heard from past Hideo Kojima fans that this is the most direct sequel he's ever made. All his previous games, all the Metal Gear Solids, they jump all over the timeline.
Oh, they do. And,
whereas this one is just...
Did you hear that?
Next in the story.
Did you hear that funny bit he did for social media and stuff? It was is it Norman Reedus? Is that how you say his name?
Norman Reedus, yeah.
He's the one who let the cat out the bag a little too early in regards to social media and stuff.
It's always these actors.
And
they don't know how the games industry works.
And so I don't know if it was on TikTok or some sort of social media of some sort. They made a little video of like Kojima just bullying him and telling him off, and Norman Reedus just going, "Oh, I'm sorry." just to make good fun of it, by all accounts. I don't know if it was only released in Japan or something because I didn't really see it, but that's fun. That's fun. He seems kind of a chill guy, by all accounts.
Yes, and he seems like the type of person that you would like to make games with.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And yeah, no doubt.
He makes the process inclusive. He makes the process fun. He it's like Corey Barlog.
Who's that?
The creator, the producer, the game director for the God of War reboot.
Okay, yes, agreed.
Yeah, there's this big old documentary on YouTube on how he made that game. And again, he seems like just a fun, chill person to work for.
Yeah, and these are the ones you want leading our games fundamentally.
Yes, absolutely, not suits.
Yeah, that's right.
God,
and we're gonna again, speak with your wallets. Don't buy games. Buy indie games. Buy all these nice games with nice developers and friendly people.
Do it.
But anyway,
buy Expedition 33.
Should we jump into visuals?
Let's. I don't think there's more for narrative that we can say.
Let me just point out visually, I was not in a Death Stranding beach-themed world where I needed little spider things, little bat blobs, BTs that can now see you and then send, I don't know, there was catchers and lookers and seekers and stuff like that. Big heads out the ground that slam you into... Ladies and gents, I'm not a huge horror person, and granted, I wouldn't entirely call this a horror game, but damn it! Come on, Kojima. Some people don't like weird tar-like monstrosities with mucus and shouting and throwing up tar with rocks in it. These things... I want to go back to just the simple umbilical little beach things. I was not a fan of these stressful, grotesque-looking things now.
They've definitely upped the ante.
They really did.
For a lot of these, not only encounters, but environments as well. I've got it down for gameplay for a lot of these things, but yes, the way they look is... It looks horrifying, but...
I hate it. But this is my own personal preference.
It's well made.
It's still great, and it looks great, and everything like that. I just don't like the things, but it is. Again, lots of people are saying this is the first, PlayStation game, a PlayStation 5 game, sorry, that's actually a PlayStation 5 game. Everything looks so good on it.
Isn't it just crazy? 5 years in. 5 years in.
And it's supposed to be pretty well optimized for the PlayStation as well. Everything's supposed to really work. That first scene when you just walk out into the landscape, and you're like,
how?
Crap, that looks so. That's
How?
if I walked.
That can't be computer generated. That cannot be.
No, it's
Obviously
crazy.
it is. I know, because there are crypto bytes and tar, but whoa, that looks like someone took a camera into the desert.
And there was just so many, like, even just the flooding and the earthquakes when you're climbing up a mountain and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you just see, like, the natural rock slides and stuff that would be formed around you? Not necessarily because you were interacting with that one slope, but around you as well. And things could be... I got swept away by a random flood doing one thing. And I thought, first of all, I was annoyed because all my boxes were floating very rapidly past me. But I also thought, damn, this is proper environmental, adaptiveness. Let's go with that.
Yes, truly.
It is really kind of like just awe-inspiring when you just see what's going on around you and you just walk around by all accounts.
We have loads of games where I like to spout that one of the most important characters of the game itself is the game world, the setting you're in.
Yeah.
What is the one we did recently?
Go on.
Firebreak. I think it was Firebreak where I said the oldest house you're in,
oh yes, that's right.
The Bureau of Control, is a character in itself.
Yes, you did. Yeah, that was beat.
And I like to feel the same way for Death Stranding 2, that this world you're traversing through is a character. But it feels, where Control you feel kind of claustrophobic and it's tight shifting hallways. This is almost overwhelmingly big.
Yeah,
huge and large.
I know exactly. I know it's there is a proper word for it. Claustrophobia is the one of confined spaces. There's another phobia of open spaces, and it has that degree to it, doesn't it? It's just so vastly, just nothing around, and it's so open, and there's so many places. There's not really a place you can't traverse, right? Any rock or weird little nook that you find. It is just it's very pretty. We're not shocked with the studio that's behind it. And again, another thing, just visually, we were denoting, there's so much storytelling in the visuals. There are so many bits where you go, what the hell is that? There was that one bit, when you first meet the new president, right? And he's giving you the whole waffle about
Alistair Duncan.
Yeah. And he's giving you the what's next, why we're doing this, all this. And I'm listening, and I'm well, of course, a bit suspicious of him and all the other things. And then there's a random little bug crawls around his shoulder and goes like to the back of his head or something. And
immediately, I'm thinking, what is that? Who is this? I do not trust this
exactly.
man.
And it's that little visual key of that little bug just being creepy as hell.
Visual storytelling.
And you instantly, like you said, it made you suspect him even more because is
absolutely.
he a bug person?
And it's not someone leaning into you saying, "This guy doesn't seem trustworthy."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like the old school 90s games and stuff like that. It is crazy storytelling because that just adds another list of what's that about? Why is that? Why did we see this? Why is
exactly? Like we said earlier. It's giving you questions upon questions upon questions and drip feeding answers, making you feel like, I need more answers. Exactly. I need more answers. So you continue playing the game. Why was there a chest on his bug? Why do I feel so iffy when I'm around him?
But why is there a weird tar familiar cat with wings that's just standing in the cockpit?
Yes, why?
No one even explains it.
Is the director for Mad Max just piloting this tar ship? Why does he only have one hand?
Yeah.
Why am I grayscale?
That's true. That was a weird moment too. I was like, whoa, okay. Again, the fun thing about Kojima is that you just go, this is normal. You don't check your gamma or anything on your screen. You're like, no, this is the one game where you know weird crap's going to happen. So I'll just go with it.
Yes, actual George Miller told us, in case we're wondering where his hand is, it's traversing the tar pits. Thank you, George Miller. On to the next conversation.
Yeah, that's right. We were like, oh, yeah, of course.
Of course his hand is just swimming through the tar pits of Australia.
Yeah, of course it is. We've all been there. We've all had a bit of a bout of weird hand tar pit.
Who hasn't?
Right? Exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's so much.
There is so much. There's so much visual storytelling. There's so much in the visuals, and it's so masterfully crafted. It looks so well. Even if you just look at a random NPC, look at this person on screen, and they're crying for some reason.
Yeah, I remember that from the first one. I can't exactly remember why that is anymore.
Me neither. I don't know if they ever explained it. I don't think they did.
But that's a very dramatic. It adds so much emotion to those scenes, doesn't it? Just that single tearfall on the skin.
Yes.
It just makes them feel so much more vulnerable and human. It's very weird. Very, again, visual storytelling at its peak by all accounts. Did you hear about the funny story? He got kind of a lot of slack in regards to why, as a Japanese game producer, are you using Western characters all the time, right?
Oh yeah, it's because he loves America.
He loves America, and he says that as politely as he could, is that Western skin is aged and and it's got more story to it. And Asian skin is just too glowy and clean and shiny. Is that what he said?
Is that I gleaned something completely different from that article.
Oh, by what did you read from it? I'm curious.
So the big clickbaity Reddit title that I clicked on said, "Oh, Hideo Kojima says he can't make Asians because the technology's not there yet." And then I clicked on it, and then I read it, and I'm sure the translation isn't the best.
Yeah, of course, you do lose.
But what I gleaned from it was that the technology wasn't there, past tense, to make Asians look authentic.
Okay,
on the PlayStation 3, but it is there now.
It's true.
So that's why we've got characters like, oh, I don't know, who's the Asian lady on the Magellan?
It's just funny you asked. I don't know. The Asian lady.
He said
she is
the technology
Asian
didn't
lady
used to
on
be
the
there,
Magellan.
but it is now, so it's fine now.
Yes, that's true. Everything's great. And there's a mannequin, and there's
Charlie.
Is that his name? Yeah, that is right.
Isn't it? I love it when Charlie speaks, and at the end of every second sentence, he gives that Johnny Bravo smile, and there's a ching in the air.
Yeah, and the little puppet guy that you speak to too.
Dollman.
Doll, of course. How did I forget that? That's a name designed for me.
He made this for you.
I know. I love that he moves in 20 frames per second compared to, I don't know what it is.
It's 12. It's 12.
Is it 12?
Everyone else is either 30 or 60, depending on which graphical mode you picked. But Dollman is locked to 12 frames
and
per
it just
second.
adds again that weird creepy can you trust him type vibe to the whole thing, right?
What, you don't trust Dollman?
No, I don't, but I don't trust puppets. I
trust Dollman with my life.
Well, I don't know where the story ends. I just don't think that's probably a good idea, but we'll see. Maybe
I trust Dollman. Right. There's this little Easter egg. Oh, it's so funny that where he took Dollman for the first time and then he put him on his belt on behind.
Yes, that's
and then
right.
he said, "Oh, your buttocks, Sam," which is a little dig at Mimir and Kratos.
That's right. It is at Kratos, right? I thought the same thing.
Yes, which is funny because 5 minutes later, actual Mimir appeared on my screen.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. This has got some pedigree people in it, doesn't it?
We'll get into that at audio in a bit, I'm sure.
And of course, the cutscenes in this game are super impressed. They're like watching a movie. You could take all of them, squish them together, and you're watching something on the big screen. It's all just...
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if this is still unknown, but maybe to any new listeners, I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
So when I put them down and I do all the chores and I clean up a bit, I get to game at about 9 p.m. And sometimes that's when I eat my dinner. Usually I heat my dinner and I say, what video can I watch before I start playing a game?
Of course.
For Death Stranding 2, I'm sure you know where this is going. I boot up the game after I've heated my dinner and then I watch an entire cutscene while eating my dinner because I know nowhere in hell am I going to immediately play a game when I boot this game.
No,
I'm
exactly.
just going to sit
it's
down
like a Japanese RPG and stuff like that. No, you've got
dinner and
lots to watch. That's right. And it does so well. Again, visually this game is pretty much the zenith of what the PlayStation 5 can do, and it just shows you.
For
it
now,
is great. It kind of makes other games, and you go, why didn't you work harder? Why don't all games look like this?
How long has the PS5 been here?
Right, yeah.
And we're still releasing Elden Ring Night Rain for the PS4. Come on.
Exactly. Anything else visually you want to add?
I think there's a lot that we could add.
Yeah.
But I think it's just going to be waffling on.
It's going to be hours upon hours. Okay, Mr.
It
Audio
is. It looks
Man,
astonishing. If you've got a PS5 and you play this game, you can expect it to look gorgeous.
Yes, exactly right. And I look forward to when it comes out on PC, where all those super powerful supercomputers people have at home and be able to.
When your 5090 runs this.
That's right. Yeah, it's going to be great. This game's very pretty. So what do you think of the audio man?
Audio. Yeah. There's a big part of the audio that we can talk loads about. Usually I like to dissect the audio in 3 parts: sound effects, voice acting, and soundtrack.
Yep.
First of all, my favorite part of the audio in Death Stranding 2 would be, I know this is an unpopular opinion, I might be in the minority, but those random songs that play as you're journeying.
I love those.
You do? I've
forgotten
that's so great.
that those were part of the game, and then I was making my way to one, and then one kicked in, and it zooms out ever so slightly on your character, and I was like, good. These! I love those. I think they're masterful bits of song to play.
It's so good. It's so good. They get lost. They get lost on players when they kind of have their streamer on the second screen, or they're on their phone, or their mother-in-law shouting at them.
Yeah.
This is great. It really is great. When you're immersed in this world, and then Kojima's iPod is just popping off. Yeah. It's really, I enjoy it a lot. I think the artistic vision that Kojima kind of tries to have for this game is tenfold and extremely obvious when these songs play at a very specific moment. It's great.
Don't they just kick in and make you feel super lonely? You know, when they kick in and you're the only person on there, and you're walking, you're carrying heavy gear, and those songs kick in. I just always feel like it gives you that huge sense of everybody else is down in a bunker, and you're the only person out here.
Yes,
it just adds to that atmosphere of like,
it really does. The only other game I've played that really makes me feel just alone and content is Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's got that same. I can see it. I can see it.
Yes, you truly do feel alone, but capable. And I think you're right. This is amplified by the songs that play every now and then. Although I'm a bit. I don't think I'll feel as alone this time around because Dollman's on my hip.
That's true. You do have a bit of company. That's true.
It's a bit. I'm not entirely alone.
It's true, and you could kind of call Lou company as well to some degree, depending on the story elements of Lou. I for one, I've
still not figured that part out completely.
I'm probably the only person that when we started this game up, and I saw where it went, and we didn't take Lou with us at the beginning. I was like, oh, thank God, I don't have to keep the baby happy, and I was like, yes, it's no longer part of the gameplay. And then, as I found out a few hours later,
something happens.
Yeah, it's not.
I hope you felt bad.
I did slightly. I did. Sorry, narratively. Again, no spoilers, but I felt a bit rough afterwards.
What do you mean? It's in the trailer. There's a trailer that has that entire cutscene.
Oh, really? I did not know that. I kind of kept everything under the radar because I was like, "Whoa, that's rough."
It is. Again, it's rough. It's rough. I still don't completely believe what happened, but it's
again the storytelling. You can never believe anything until the very end when it might tell you if you're lucky, because I agree, I don't believe any of it either. And of course we have that twin girl that somebody split the soul and now the souls are into one.
Oh, good.
Anything can happen by all accounts.
Anything can happen.
Sorry,
this is Hideo Kojima we're talking about. Yes, this is audio. This is supposed to be audio.
Sorry. Go back to audio. Sorry.
the songs that play randomly is wonderful. It really is wonderful. When you're immersed in this game, it's special. It's special.
Yeah.
And it really feels like what this is, that a person or a studio made, isn't just a game. It's not just Mario jumping for coins. This feels like art.
Yeah, no doubt. Agreed. Again, it's one of those, just one of those good examples of gaming being an art form, right?
Yes.
And it is. It's great.
More than that, we've got voice acting.
Again, I always like going down this avenue because I'm always intrigued. I don't remember names. I'm sure people who've listening don't. I'm surprised. Again, some of the voice actors in here kind of a. Troy Baker. Is that a spoiler to say he's in this? Because
no.
Okay.
No,
good.
again, one of the first cutscenes was just him.
Oh, good. Yeah, I thought so too. I thought I did see him. Okay, he's Higgs, as no shock to everyone. He's again probably the most famous voice actor around.
In the video game industry, yes.
Yes.
Apart from him, it'd just be Ben
Starr, right? Yeah,
and Neil Newbon.
And my favorite, Jennifer English, because I like her voice, and Shadow Heart is my wife. So yeah, Troy Baker.
Anyway.
Another fantastic addition is Dakota Fanning's sister.
Elle Fanning.
Elle Fanning.
That's just the Spanish word for fanning.
I was thinking that as well. I just thought that's a nice. Why not give her a different name?
Well, they are in Mexico.
Elle Fanning. She plays a lady called Tomorrow.
Of course, she
does.
An
interesting character by all accounts. And then,
not
of
Tomorrow
course,
Man, just Tomorrow.
Yeah, see, but then they didn't give her a complicated name. Like you said, like the females normally have like Tomorrow is something I can remember. Obviously, he's designing everything for me. He's slowly seeing that I don't get to remember the people's names.
Yes.
Let's give this girl I could say a normal name, but an adequate name. Let's put it that way.
The only normal name in this game is Sam and Lou, I guess.
That is very true. I don't know why, but yeah, that does seem to be the case by all accounts. And then, of course, as you said, Alistair Duncan playing the president, which I'm sure I know you know, did the voice of Mimir.
That's right. I recognize. I'm struggling to kind of separate him from Mimir.
Yes.
When I see the president talking on screen, all I'm thinking is, God, this is Mimir. That's Mimir talking.
Did you ever, or have you ever seen people play Metal Gear Solid Revengeance or Revengeance? Have you seen that game?
I've seen, yes.
You must have seen all the clips of Senator Armstrong.
Yes,
right?
I have. Nanotech, son.
That's right. I didn't know that was also Alistair Duncan.
What?
I know. It's such an iconic. I know. How
Senator Armstrong is Alistair Duncan? That's
how he didn't crack himself up. I don't know how you do those lines. It must have been so hilarious.
He absolutely did. I'm convinced he did.
It must have been so funny.
Nanotech, son. I'm convinced he must have.
Yeah. It must have been fun because, like I said, he's got kind of that grown-up, adulty narrative.
We need more of that.
Right?
We need more. So you're saying this isn't the first time he's been an antagonist, I'm assuming, in a Kojima game?
No. He's obviously good friends or something like that. They've been in the same circle.
Absolute hell yeah mode.
He also voices Alfred in one of the animated Batman series. Not the ones we know. It looked like a newer version of animated Batman.
Yeah.
Because he did Alfred for a good few episodes, a couple of seasons of a Batman.
That's great.
And then, of course, this one blew my mind. Now, that's only because I'm older than you. George Miller. Do you know the name George Miller?
Yes, I know who George Miller is. That is fairly incredible.
How do you know? Out of curiosity, now, ladies and gents, I asked this question because Nick's never watched any movies ever, it would seem.
Aha! I have watched Fury Road.
You watched Fury Road, so you do know of the Mad Max and his escapades.
Yes, I do. Although that's the only Mad Max movie I've watched.
Well, I'm not that surprised. The other ones are actually pretty old. But George Miller, the guy who made Mad Max, who thought it up and directed it and put it on the screens, and is a character called Tarman, which is great because I can remember it.
And
I was shocked.
I think he's got the best character design in the whole
Oh,
game.
yes. His character is a ton of fun. Yeah, agreed.
With the cat on his shoulder, the coat, the glasses, the bionic arm. Oh.
Do you know another fun fact? Do you know what other movie George Miller, I think, either directed or wrote up? I can't remember which. It's like a polar opposite to Mad Max.
No.
Any clue? No?
No.
You're never going to get it. It's Babe. Babe, the pig movie about
Pig in the City.
I think it's the first one. I don't think he did the sequel. He just did the Babe.
Oh yes,
sheepdog.
Yes.
Bar ram you.
Okay, so he wrote the lines.
Isn't that crazy?
That'll do, pig.
You know what I say that. I say that line all the time. If anyone says, if you and my wife does something, and I'll say that'll do. And I'll say, that'll do, pig. And granted, she now knows that I'm doing a quote from the movie, because originally when we were dating,
I'm glad.
That didn't go over that well. But yeah, I say quotes from Babe more often than anyone should, and I don't know why.
That's incredible.
It's just stuck
we can thank George Miller for that.
Yes, exactly.
But I'm not too surprised, because he's not even the first film producer or director in the Death Stranding franchise.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. By all means, who's the other prolific one?
The other one is oh no, I know his name.
You do?
I know his name.
I kind of know his name. I'm just scared I'll say it wrong.
Same.
So I'm leaving it for you.
No, I know his name. I knew it 5 minutes ago.
Ah, the 30s are kicking in.
No, it's not the 30s.
Yeah, you'll get the 30s. You can't run from it. It's like timefall rain. It's gonna get you.
David, what is it?
I want to say his name but I never get it right.
What's his first name?
Isn't it his surname Del Toro?
Yes, Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you.
Guillermo del Toro.
Because I always say it, I sound like I'm talking about a Mexican franchise or something like that. I always
I always try to remember. I think it's in French and Italian and Spanish. When it's two L's, it's a J. So it's Guillermo.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Bit of
two
knowledge.
L's equals a J. Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, and by all accounts, he's in this for a bit, right?
Absolutely.
My favorite character.
He had a big role in the first game.
Yeah, he's actually the favorite character I loved. He played Deadman, right? Or not?
Yes.
He did, right? The weird
Deadman, yes.
but lovable scientist fella.
Yes, slightly pathetic.
Yeah,
slightly.
But he was he was a baby that was manufactured. So you gotta cut him some slack. Yeah, he's in it. Now, granted, what else? I always know that name. What else is he famous for? Is it horror movies?
Guillermo.
Yeah.
Yes, he made some. He's made loads of horror.
Yeah.
Stuff, movies for sure. It's not my type of horror. It's very in your face.
I swear it's
popcorn
just
horror.
Yeah, I swear it's just the name that pops up like the end of almost every movie you watch. Like all of a sudden it will just say Guillermo del Toro in everything. I don't. Granted, he is prolific by all accounts. He's been in the industry for ages.
Yeah, very true. And I think what made him really stand out to Hideo Kojima is this is also a man that kind of takes a lot of pride in his craft, and he loves not doing things by the committee, but kind of sitting down with a pen and doing it himself and being creative instead of just letting the committee do the work so he can rake in the bucks.
Is it? Sorry, did he do Pan's Labyrinth?
Yes, he did.
Right?
He did Pan's Labyrinth.
That's a nice example of what you're talking about, right? Because that was like a free reign in regards to a movie.
Yeah, sitting down, being weird, being creative.
No, exactly.
And unique. He also did Mama. I think that was another one. He did Netflix's Cabinet of Curiosities, which has some good stuff.
Yeah, you like that too. Like I said, I know Pan's Labyrinth, and that movie's balmy. But like you said, it's just a very Stephen King. He let rip on a script, and you're just supposed to keep up with his brain.
Yes,
you're not supposed to see what's coming.
And I'm sure
like
that's
which is like it's very Kojima-esque in its own right. Like you were saying, you can see that they would be friends.
Of course, not just that, but they work together on PT as well.
That's coming out, right? That isn't out. That hasn't come out yet.
What?
Has it? PT.
PT.
Is that out?
No.
Good.
No.
Hey, you stopped that. Like, what are you talking about? Of course it's out. No, it's miles away, right?
PT is one of the big myths of gaming. You remember in 2014, Hideo Kojima, under the false flag of 7780 Studios, released a demo for free on PlayStation 4 called PT.
Yes,
and it's
I do.
Normal. Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
I remember that happening, and then there was a trailer for it, wasn't there? Not too long ago.
Yes, there's a trailer. I'm walking down this hallway.
Yeah, it's freaky.
This haunted hallway continuously. And then at the end, after the community figured out how to finish this game, it turns out that this was the demo and reveal for Silent Hills, Konami's Silent Hills game that eventually got canned and Hideo Kojima got fired. Or he walked.
Oh, okay. No, I remember. I can remember now. You mention it. It's kind of stirring up some memories. I obviously forgot like the main gist of it by all accounts.
Well, this was more than 10 years ago.
There you go. See, it's not just my 30s. But anyway, as a weird tangent, anything else audio you want to lay down?
What have I got here? Oh, the voice acting is stellar because it's all actors.
Yeah, proper actors, right?
Oh yes, the sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
So, the sound effects sound like they're almost taken directly from the first game.
Yes, I noticed that in regards to...
What do you think about that?
Well, it's, again, one of the things that, again, the little fun bits they put in here, when you disable someone and then you go in to punch them or kick them, it's all in slow-mo, so it just makes it feel so much better.
Yeah.
But it's identically the same noises of the original.
When you pause the game, all those little bleeps and bloops when you manage your cargo, when you access a terminal, it feels like every single sound effect is taken from the first game. And I know this is a direct sequel, but I don't know. Do you think the gaming industry, you can still do that? Because people gave a lot of flack to Elden Ring for reusing the same animations as Dark Souls, and Spider-Man for being very much alike. Spider-Man 2 for being very much alike to the first Spider-Man. Whereas 20 years ago, this would have flew, right?
No, of course. Yeah, no, 100%.
But now, do you think studios can still get away with this?
I think, again, we're, as society, we're very hypercritical. You're right, they're the same noises.
That's
it's fundamentally the same story, though. It's a continuation. And in theory, if you want your games to come out in a reasonable set of time, reworking every button push and every skill tree bling and punch would just take so much time. And money, by all accounts, of course. I don't mind it. I did recognize it for what you said, that they are identical noises, but there's so much addition to it, be it the weather noises and those earthquakes, that I don't know, it kind of gets mixed in with the sauce for me. I don't find it a problem, but I do understand how some people want a new experience, right? Instead of just
that means
a rehash of an old one.
Brand new. Everything new. Which I think is slightly unrealistic at the point where video game production is, where it takes 5, 6, 7 years to make a big new game. I don't mind if they reuse some stuff just to get that timeline down to 5 years.
No, exactly right. Yeah, we're just kind of just a fussy. It is what it is. If you don't like it, that's fine. But I don't think it detracts from the game that much, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
it's still a good time.
I think speaking... No, that's it for audio. And I think speaking of things largely being the same from the first game, the gameplay.
Yes.
The gameplay feels almost exactly the same.
Yeah, there's no doubt this is still just a walking simulator or a traveling simulator to some
delivery
degree.
Simulator.
Yeah. It's hard for me to find, if the story wasn't so great and pulled you through, for me it's hard to find the gameplay to be riveting. Like when you're in the first few hours in it and you're getting used to it, but then it's the 49th thing you've got to then go over there and sort out with the rain. It kind of gets stale.
Feels like a chore.
Yeah.
It does. I think to a large degree, it's because if you really break it down, it is a chore. You're doing the chore of delivering packages.
Yes, but that chore equals saving the world to some degree. Like,
You're right. And there's a cool story. And also, if the world wasn't this just mental, it wouldn't be this interesting. No, if I were just tracking across regular Ohio, it wouldn't be as interesting. People wouldn't stick to this game as much as they do.
But I do get that's kind of it's kind of the point he's making in the social distancing and the I get it, and to get them all connected is supposed to be a grueling effort, and I get what's coming across in making this, but it's also a video game. And let me go. I'd say that the gameplay in this is better than the first one. Would you agree or not?
Slightly.
I thought that they jumped straight into the combat like routes kind of straight away. They give you guns pretty early. They give you some vehicles pretty early.
Okay, so I would say the gameplay is slightly better. Yeah. What has improved just by a huge amount is the pacing.
Yes, agreed. The last one was incredibly slow.
Has just been improved massively, and that's probably why the gameplay feels better. Yeah. You're immediately jumping into traveling. After a little bit, it's combat. After a little bit,
exactly,
it's a natural disaster. After a little bit, okay, you now need to solve how to get across the river.
Yeah, agreed. The pacing is definitely a lot more sped up. It is.
Yes. The pacing it's sped up, and you get introduced new elements bit by bit naturally during the gameplay, instead of a 2-hour-long cutscene. Yeah. And a very simple delivery five times over, which is what the first game did.
Made it a bit more rewarding as well now with the kind of like the skill tree you kind of unlock, and you've got those little stats that increase the more you kind of use it. Right, if you sprint a lot, kind of like Skyrim, when you sprint a lot, you're kind of level 1, and then you go to level 2. There's a lot more than just if I take this from A to B, I get some likes. And then, yay, there is actually now things. And I think if it's, I'm trying to get the 5 stars. I generally do it for the weaponry and stuff. And I'm getting a reward for each star that I get. Was that the same in the old one, or did you just get like an Uber reward when you got 5 stars?
Can't remember.
I can't remember it either. But I felt the progression of unlocking things is a lot nicer in this. Like. The 5-star, the star rating thing, you get a delivery and that unlocks things.
You're so right. And a term that I like to use for exactly that is pacing.
Yeah, it is.
The pacing is so much better in this game. And I think, I'm not going to say this is the reason why, but is a big reason why people are giving this such better scores than the first one. It's not starting off with a 2-hour cutscene and 5 boring deliveries. The pacing is so much better.
It is. It's no doubt. I remember the first one, and that first few hours, it gets to the point where you go, something's got to happen. I'm just delivering.
You're so right. You're so right. It's just cutscene over cutscene. And boring deliveries.
And a pizza.
These first couple of hours worth of deliveries in Mexico isn't boring.
No, and it's like you said, that first bit is fundamentally a tutorial, which shocked me by all accounts.
I'm 5 hours in, and I'm still not out of the tutorial yet.
Yeah, and I like the idea that if you want to put the grind in, it will make your later on better. You can upgrade your blood grenades, you upgrade your assault rifle, you get ammo things for your backpack and special make things lighter thing. There's a lot more to be like chasing after instead of, oh, now I got to go to that area that's in the mountains and through the trees and up the snow, and it's going to take so goddamn long.
Yep.
There's a nicer progression to things in this one.
Yes. And I think this game is, I don't know about more accessible, but the first game confused me so much when I first encountered the BTs.
Yeah, no doubt.
I didn't know what to do.
Nor me.
How in the hell am I supposed? What does this mean?
Crouch and hold your breath. That's all I did. I just crouched and hold my breath through the whole thing.
This time around, it feels completely different.
It is. And
do you think that's because we played the first game?
Yes, I think entirely. Because even when when you're playing the game and you're looking the path you're going, I'm looking for the umbilical in regards to like scouting out the map because I know that's where BTs are. I wouldn't know that. The whole premise of it if I didn't play the first one by all accounts. There were those little...
Gotcha.
But I do, and they made I thought they made the blood grenades weaker, but that's only later on I found out you can upgrade them, so that's why.
Yes.
Because it took me 3 throws to kill one, like, searcher, and I was like, I swear these were strong, the grenades were stronger. I was like...
Oh, wow.
How many times did you die to the first boss, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
The first boss, the head?
Yeah.
I died once. It ate me once, and then I triggered a void out.
Yeah, so did I. But I remember last time when we were playing Death Stranding 1, I said the same thing, and you were like, I just didn't die. I didn't die there, Dave. I didn't. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm so glad.
Oh, it's a skill issue. It must be a skill issue.
Yeah, I had that head thing. It wasn't... I got pinned up against the wall and then just slowly got eaten. I nearly had it as well.
Same thing happened to me.
But it was an entertaining fight in the long run. As soon as, like I said, it takes you a while to get used to all the buttons. Kind of a complex control scheme to this game to some degree. Lots of knowing where each button is and long throws and short throws.
And I think that is one reason why a lot of people kind of enjoyed this new type of game. It's this game where it's complicated and there's a lot of buttons. There's a lot of things that can be done. But mastering the system that Kojima's made for Death Stranding, mastering this this complex management system where you need to deliver, defend, and kind of get to grips with what's going on. Mastering this was a big hook for loads of people.
Agreed. And it's also got that fun, again, these games, Kojima's known for making these weird things, and the whole online social aspect of it, helping one another, build a bridge, make a zip line, give them...
Yeah, there's big old meta commentary where you can't, even though how much you try and get through things alone, you can't.
And it's so much easier if you help out, by all accounts. I know it's a weird thing, and that's what he's trying to kind of teach everyone, by all accounts. Yeah. But... You know, it's hard not to see on the screen Ninja 456 left metals in the thing, and this guy is asking for some weapons and tools, and even at the end
the
when
bridge,
I finished,
the schematic that you placed down half an hour ago, it's now finished because loads of people kind of left materials and it built itself.
And I even at the end of my gameplay, I normally go back to the Magellan in this, or go back to one of the safe houses, just like as a, and I always like donate my weird stuff to like the local locker, and then it's always you get like, again, everything about this game is getting thumbs ups and stuff like that. I love
getting likes.
Isn't it just amazing the accessing the menu is a thumbs up on the screen. And then you see, I love that. Those little things like that, so clever. I didn't like the handcuffs that much. The little thumbs up thing is such a clever way of just adding that weird likes thing to the whole world. I thought
isn't it? You
awesome.
Kind of explained this to me a couple of months ago. I was telling you the tonal shift that the Yakuza games, what was it, Like a Dragon? Yeah. Sometimes the tonal shift gives me whiplash.
Yes,
right.
Okay. Yes,
I'd be fighting an African American with big round boxing gloves in the street, and it'd be the silliest thing that I've done in a long while. And then I turned the corner, and my boss hung himself.
Yakuza's kind of known for that. That is very true.
The tonal shift is true. Kind of rising my cholesterol levels.
Yeah, no,
I feel that is subtle, but still here. It's still here. There's some serious stuff going on, and then all of a sudden, okay, I access the menu by giving a thumbs up.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And Fragile's got. Is that a Japanese thing? I think it's. Again, if I was to really analyze it, I think in this regard, it's to find the fun in the misery, for lack of a better term. Because you're right, there is a lot of things, and even the things you deliver are kind of silly. Some of the things are like his private diary when he was like 15, and you got to go deliver it to like an 87-year-old man because he's, in theory, worried people are going to read it and stuff like that. You're right, it's an interesting. Maybe it is a Japanese thing. They do like goofy things. They love to add goofiness to drama. It's kind of what
great.
They do.
I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's again. There's so much in here that's very clever. Helping people out is fun, and if you do, you kind of benefit from getting kind of levels up in that regard.
Yep.
It's a very clever game. The gameplay again is added to the storyline, added to the visuals. It all makes it this lovely little smorgasbord of just like nice things, and you go, wow, that's clever, or that's smart.
Yes,
and they unlock the vehicles really early, and thank God they do.
Ooh, that's nice. That is so good. That is so good. The terrain might not be vehicle friendly. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm on that bike.
That tri-bike, I'm climbing everything. I'm doing wheelies. I'm trying to do the unthinkable.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Now I just have two more things for gameplay.
Go on.
One, I think the combat's improved because a lot of people complained about the combat in the previous game.
Yeah,
I didn't have
basic, or too.
I think so, but I really didn't have an issue with the combat in the.
I thought narratively you're just a porter, you're not a marine, so I kind of liked the basicness of it.
Exactly, and this time around, it feels I don't know, it's slightly better.
It is slightly better. I'd say it's slightly better. You get a lot more weapons in this one already. I've got I got a sniper rifle. I've got a grenade pistol. You know, the actual, they beefed up the armory in this game as well quite a lot,
which is great. I like it in this one as well.
Yeah, it is. It's again. I went up against those big red robot things, and I tried to sneak up and tie one up. But that didn't work. So I was like, oh crap. So I just had to blow him up.
Oh shit. Well, guess I have to shoot you now.
Yeah. And again, those bits are so funny because the robots behave like humans in their movements a lot of the time, which was funny because they point at you. When they find you, they point at you. But they're robots.
You're a robot. You don't need to point.
It is. Again, I don't know if this is just, again, trying to understand Kojima. No one can because his brain's just too up there on another plane.
It's actually an allegory for the way AI likes to point at humans for being its first inspiration.
Knowing him, that could be exactly it. Maybe you're the first to actually fully understand it. Maybe Kojima's like, whoa, he gets it.
I can feel him enter my brain.
Yeah, does your brain just feel bigger right now? It feels swole because you know. Yeah,
so I'm glad the combat's improved.
And the other gameplay thing you're talking about?
I have a very special, very hateful place in my heart.
Okay. Wow, this is deep. This is like that Japanese thing where jovial just now.
You know exactly what I'm going to say. There's a special, deep, dark, despicable place for the weird tar spiders.
I hate those. Why did they have to exist?
I don't know. It makes me want to when I accidentally step on one.
Yeah.
I look away from the screen. I sprint forward and I actively turn my head away from the screen.
Yeah, I hated it.
I cannot handle it.
I also bumped into them. I was just walking somewhere at night, and then you walk through the forest, and then there was just, what the hell are these?
Well, and they were just chilling, just walking. I thought, okay, cool, great. And then I stepped on one.
I hate, Whoa. I don't know. I get why they use spiders, because spiders are creepy and horrible and they shouldn't exist.
Yes, but these are tar spiders, and they're as big as Sam's torso.
Yes, and out of curiosity, were there little round, just black blob things too? Or maybe like just They remind me. Have you watched a Studio Ghibli movie? You must have one or two. No, most people have. But this is
I've watched Princess Mononoke.
No, that's
Spirited
perfect.
Away.
I think
unfortunately, I watched Grave of the Fireflies.
That's not supposed to be that bad by all accounts. But do you know
it's too good. That's the problem.
The little soot things. Do you know the little soot things with eyes? Do you know they're kind of like
yes, those,
right?
yes. Okay, yes.
That's what I thought those little blob things were. I was so naive in my oh look, little soot things. That's obviously a nod to like Studio Ghibli. And then they just weren't. They were just horrible.
No, they are horrible. They are
trying
horrible,
to kill
horrible
me
little things.
And call the catchers and the screechers and this game I would qualify this game as a horror game. In my eyes,
there are horror bits for sure. There are parts in this game where Kojima just feels like, okay, how can I scare you?
Yes, agreed.
How can I really scare you? Dead Space, I was fine with. Stepping on one of these little shits in the jungle.
Yeah.
made me hate this game more than I despised.
Isn't it funny how games that can be like grotesquely scary are sometimes easier than games that are edging the scary to the action kind of genre. Like, being over the top seems to be easier to deal with than being too realistic or being more everyday. Yeah, it's just a funny aspect. Anything else?
We're going on about this.
We are.
That's it for gameplay.
Performance. What did you think?
I don't have any real bugs besides these dumb spiders.
Yeah, nice. I saw what you did there.
Thank you. And it's insane how fast this game can load.
Yeah, this game was, again, problem-free for me. I had no problem. And you're right, it was quick to load up. No frame rate issues.
I've had this little iffy feeling when, whenever you load a game, you get the splash screens. Oh, Kojima Productions.
Yes,
published by PlayStation Studios.
Of course.
That takes about 10 seconds, and then another 10 seconds.
Yeah.
They don't need to show that to you. The game has already booted up within 2-3 seconds.
No, it's true. This one just just gets there and gets it done.
Most PlayStation games, the Final Fantasy VII Remake doesn't do this. True. And the time it takes from you to play the game to start running around as Cloud, I think I counted once, was 4 seconds.
Okay, yeah. Go on, sorry.
I'm sorry, Kojima and PlayStation, they just need to inflate their egos by making sure that this is their studios that made this.
Well, it make you feel good from one perspective is that I never remember what company makes what. So you say Assassin's Creed, I'm like, yeah, it's Ubisoft, right? Or is it? No? See?
No? Yeah.
So it doesn't work on me. I am the foil to their design. I don't know what makes anyone, and I don't know anyone out there.
We need more
Daves.
Daves.
Yes, I will lead a rising up against corporate bullshit. Performance-wise, it was perfect for me. Nothing to complain about.
Which is great because it's very obvious that this game's been in the polishing phase for a very long time.
Which I love. Games should take time. Right, they should take a long time to come out.
They don't just they just fart out a game half baked and then try and sell it.
Yes, exactly. That's what the world is right now. We need to change it back to what we used to do and do it slowly.
Just polish the game.
What did you think value for money wise?
I think you get a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah.
This one, right? There's a lot of game here,
yeah.
which I've said for a lot of other games, and it's the truth. If you want your value for money, you'll get it here, but big but. You need to absolutely be sure before you spend $60-$70 on this game. You need to know that you like this type of gameplay.
Yeah, that's true. You could easily spend that money and be like, this is boring. Like it is boring.
Why did I buy this? This game sucks.
It's one of those games, even to myself, like I said, I didn't finish the first one because I think the gameplay just got to me. What am I doing?
Yeah.
So the narrative is better. Like, I think the narrative is better on this one. If this drags me through it, then it's worth it. But I agree. If you drop some nice $70 or $80 what the price of this game is, it's possibly not gonna, it's not that all-world people pleaser, is it? It is a walking simulator.
You need to know that you like this.
Yeah. So by all accounts, I believe Death Stranding 1 is relatively cheap, or is on the PlayStation subscription, or whatever's out there.
Perfect.
So, yes. So definitely
just try the first one, which is cheap now.
Yeah, it is.
To see if you like it before you commit.
Yeah, because it's a lot of money. It doesn't matter matter who you are or your finances and stuff like that. That is a lot of money to drop on a game that you may not feel like this is great. And does that, out of curiosity, I know Steam gives you money back like before 2 hours or something. Does PlayStation have that type of thing?
No.
Yeah, there you go. See?
No, when you buy it, it's yours. Sorry. Yeah.
So it's... I don't value for money. I agree. There is a ton of... there's lots of content here. And this game is... I didn't quite finish it yet, but it's not a short game by any extent of the words. No. If you want to platinum it, it's got plenty to do by all accounts.
Oh man, I don't know if I've got...
No, it's really too much to do.
Platinum Death Stranding.
Yeah, but by all accounts, I think you're right. I think this game is fundamentally worth the money. But a good red flag is try the first one first, because this isn't going to hit everyone's sweet spot. It's going to be it is a walking simulator. You are just going to be a courier for a lot of it.
Yeah. Although it seems like the second time around, people know what they're in for.
And yes,
reviews are kind of favoring this one much more than it did the first one.
It's it is that they are liking this a lot more than the first one. There's not.
Do you think it's because the people who didn't like the first one already bailed?
I guess that's possible. I guess it'd be intrigued to see like the initial numbers and stuff are, because you could be right that it's now just the people who enjoyed the first one, so the reviews and scores are going to be more positive, right? That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did we score this bad boy in the end then?
Our scores for Death Stranding 2 tried to connect the entirety of Mexico and did it, thankfully, which is great. They all kind of helped each other out. Build bridges, build watchtowers, build timefall shelters, and it did great. But only one made it atop the peak and its way through the plate gate. And that single score turned into the letter grade rating of A-, an excellent score.
By all accounts.
One of the best scores we've had.
It's up there with Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Yes. And God of War Ragnarok.
I think Clair Obscur is going to take the Game of the Year. Hopefully.
I hope so. I really hope Clair Obscur
this is a solid competitor. I think this is definitely a good 1-2 we got on our hands.
It might come down to this and Clair Obscur.
Yeah, by all accounts, I hope there are more good games coming out this year to compete for that title. Yeah. But yeah, this game is very
We've got
good.
Ghost of Yote.
That's true. We'll see how that turns out.
Silent Hill F.
Digimon. Something or other. I can't remember what the new one's called. It's something. Digimon something.
That's right. But yeah, I think A- is just cream of the crop type of game. If you like this game, which thankfully Dave and I do, then this is just a treat for the next 60, 70 hours.
Oh, I'd say easy. I bet. Yeah, I'd say it is. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, good game. Yeah. Definitely. Like I said, this is one of those games that should be worth your bang for your buck.
Definitely.
And got plenty to do in it. I think most people would enjoy this game if they picked it up.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Critical Arcade podcast. If you'd be so kind, leave a like, review, comment, everything. Subscribe, ring the bell. Do park in the garage. Just go to the do everything. I don't know.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it.
There's so many platforms. I can't keep up.
There are too many platforms. You're not wrong.
Stay tuned to Critical Arcade. Buy some bread to stay tuned to. I don't know.
People don't think about the bread option. I like it. People aren't clued onto the bread thing yet.
No. And what they also aren't clued onto is where they can follow Dave.
Well, you can find me out and about, but I did speak to our good man, Tar Man, right? He's the
Tar Man.
And I know where his hand is. So
Yeah.
I've been able to I made a quick little deal with his hand that's swimming around in the tar. And if you do come near me, he will grab you by the wrist and he will take you into the gelatinous black goop that is the tar beached thing stuff. And you will never be seen again, perhaps on a beach somewhere with a dead whale for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why there's so many dead whales. But that's what will happen.
I don't even think Hideo Kojima knows.
No, I think just whales. Just fields of whales. Why?
Yes,
Don't question why. There will be whales. Yeah.
You don't understand my twisted mind.
Yes, it all makes sense. So yeah, if you want to do that, by all means.
I'm so glad you went with that and not something to do with the spiders.
No, that's spiders. Spiders is just too bad. That's just too mean. Tar swimming. Yeah. That's more low key. That's fine.
I got a physical reaction the first time I encountered those spiders.
I hate them. I hate spiders. I hate everything. Yeah. I hate every adventure game that just adds spiders because spiders.
But these ones feel different.
Yeah.
These ones feel different. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I want to talk less about those spiders. Dave, what have we got lined up for next week?
Well, next week we get a nice trip out into our Indy 500 again. And this game, never heard of. I don't know if you have, by all accounts. But
I have. Have you not?
It's got 4 of my favourite words in it. Bomb, rush, cyber, funk. What's there not to love? I love bomb rushes and cyber funks.
Yes, who doesn't?
I don't know it, but again, with the indie scene, it's always fun just diving into that. So yeah,
I've heard of it. I think it's supposed to be a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio.
Oh, it's skateboarding and graffiti and all those other things.
Yes, skateboarding, graffiti, 90s,
nice.
Just oversaturated colors and good music.
Yeah,
I think that's just 90% of the game. I'm not sure.
Here's hoping. That sounds great, if I want to guess.
Yes, it does. So tune in next week if you want to hear us talk about 90s, oversaturated colors, good music, and skateboarding.
There you go. Perfect. See you then.
Yeah. See you then. Cheers.
Cheers.